Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squad for boxing news and views from around the internet. The Russian heavyweight Alexander Povetkin has been confirmed to return to the ring next month in Saudi Arabia, of all places. So, see here on screen, his promoters, World of Boxing, confirm Povetkin, who has a record 34-2, 24 KOs, will hold his next fight on July 12 in Saudi Arabia. Povetkin's fight will be part of Event of Boxing in Jeddah, which takes place in the new sports arena King Abdullah Sports City. Povetkin's rival will be announced later. That is World of Boxing on its social media channels. And that card that Povetkin's going to be on is the same one that Amir Khan is fighting on. So this is turning out to be an event with some big names, but not necessarily in big fights. Khan's opponent, not a noted name in the sport. And Alexander Povetkin looks like, from reports, boxing scene saying that Scott Alexander is the possible opponent for Alexander Povetkin. And you might be asking, Scott Alexander, what's he about? Well, his box rec, see here on screen, he's 14-3-2. Last fought against Travis Kaufman, that was back in June 2018. Lost that one in a majority decision. Many of you will remember Travis Kaufman fought Luis Ortiz at the back end of 2018, beaten handily. So pretty safe to say. I mean, I can't say I've seen a lot of Scott Alexander, but from the little I have seen and from some of the results here on this record, not a guy that should exactly trouble Alexander Povetkin, who, even at his advanced age in boxing terms of 39 years old, he's going to be 40 later this year, is still regarded as a top 10 guy. And Alexander, while he's durable, he is a guy that is a smaller heavyweight. Alexander Povetkin, even at, 6'1", 6'2", will be the taller man in the ring there. The reach is about the same at 75 inches, but Povetkin is a noted boxer. You know, he's not just all about power shots. He can actually box to a decision, and this may actually be the case in this fight. Alexander, 14-3-2 record, never been stopped with a knockout, so his losses have come from a majority decision loss. Okay, that was someone's radio blaring. A unanimous decision loss to LeRon Mitchell. And also Rodney Hernandez, he lost to him as well. And Hernandez actually, he is considered generally as a tough, durable journeyman. LeRon Mitchell was sort of in that mold as well. Hernandez beat LeRon Mitchell actually. And Travis Kaufman, he's a hard man, but not exactly the most skilled heavyweight. So sort of gives you a bit of a level of where Scott Alexander is. And I think for this fight in Saudi Arabia, Alexander Povetkin should get the win comfortably enough. If not a comfortable points decision, maybe he will become the first man to stop Scott Alexander in the ring. But I gotta say, this whole thing, this fight, him just sort of returning in Saudi Arabia out of the blue on this card that Amir Khan's on, it's just all a bit random, isn't it? Just, I don't think many of us saw this coming. Povetkin last fought against Anthony Joshua in September 2018. Hasn't been seen since. There was talk that he would potentially face Alexander Usyk. There was talk that he may face Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter said he signed his end of the deal. So whatever's gone on there, Povetkin hasn't committed to fighting some of the guys in Eddie Hearn's Matchroom stable, or the guys that he's working with. Some of them, like Usyk, for example, are on co-promotional deals. But Povetkin fighting in Saudi Arabia, it probably indicates to some extent he's getting a pretty decent paycheck, which probably is the reason that he's taking it, because, fighting against a guy like Scott Alexander, if this is in fact confirmed as the opponent, in a random boxing place like Saudi Arabia, in this card that looks like it's, on the face of it, going to have a few mismatches sort of headlining it. It's all a little bit strange, but it must be money that's part of it. But I guess the other thing too is Povetkin's been out of the ring so long now. If he's looking to have a big fight towards the back end of 2019, he's going to need a fight maybe just to blow a little bit of ring rust off. And he's indicated he's not looking to retire yet. In recent months, he sort of said, because he was meant to be fighting, originally it was going to be on the undercard of Anthony Joshua's fight night, which would have been at Wembley in April. Obviously, we know that never happened. So if he is going to have another fight or two potentially this year, this is a good opportunity in Saudi Arabia to get rid of some ring rust. And as I've been saying of late, 2019 is the year of the tune-up. So, everyone's taking them, so Alexander Povetkin looks like he's going to do the same, potentially against Scott Alexander. But at 1 month's notice, or slightly less, if the opponent isn't announced soon and it's not Scott Alexander, it's not going to be anyone better. So this would shape as just a bit of a cash grab from Alexander Povetkin and then on to the next one. And I guess we have to ask ourselves, what's going to happen for the next one? Where is Alexander Povetkin going? Because he'd been very public about he was only looking to be in big, meaningful fights. And taking this one in Saudi Arabia against Scott Alexander, if that is the opponent, that doesn't represent what Povetkin had spoken about. But I guess needs must, and if it's easy money, why not take it? It could be a very tasty payday and he's grabbing it and then on to something more meaningful. And hopefully we do get to see at least 1 or 2 more decent fights from Alexander Povetkin against guys who are in the top 10 of the division or rising stars, guys like Alexander Usyk or Filip Hrgovic, people who are rising the ranks and sort of the next generation, the next wave, because Povetkin is one of the elder statesmen of the division. He's on the way out and he's probably got something, a little something left, but how much remains to be seen. And I don't think we could probably take too much from whatever this tune-up fight is going to be in Saudi Arabia, but hopefully we get to see something soon. What do you make of it all? Alexander Povetkin returning in Saudi Arabia. Drop a comment, loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.